What if I told you there are 3 psychology tricks so powerful, they work almost every time? These are the secret weapons of top negotiators, salespeople, and even master manipulators. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain. Not to help you manipulate, but to help you protect yourself and understand the hidden forces shaping your decisions. We'll reveal the Benjamin Franklin effect, mirroring and matching, and the scarcity principle. I'll show you real-world examples so you can spot these tricks instantly. By the end, you'll see the world through a new lens and recognize these tactics from a mile away. This isn't your average psychology lesson. We're diving deep into the mechanics behind why these tricks work. Let's get started. Can asking for a favor, something that seems almost counterintuitive, really make someone like you more? It seems odd, doesn't it? It sounds backward, almost like something out of a spy novel. But it's one of the most powerful psychological tools ever discovered, a technique that can subtly shift perceptions and build connections. It's known as the Benjamin Franklin effect. The story goes that Benjamin Franklin, a man known for his wisdom and diplomacy, had a rival who, for whatever reason, just plain disliked him. There was palpable tension between them. Instead of trying to win him over with lavish gifts or empty flattery, Franklin employed a clever strategy. He asked to borrow a rare and valuable book from his rival's personal library. The rival, perhaps surprised by the request, agreed. Franklin returned the book promptly, along with a sincere thank you note expressing his gratitude. And then, something remarkable happened. They became friends. Why? What caused this shift in their relationship? The answer lies in the fascinating realm of cognitive dissonance. When you do a favor for someone, especially someone you don't particularly like, your brain experiences this cognitive dissonance, a mental conflict. It's the internal struggle of, I don't like this person but I help them. Why would I do that? To resolve this discomfort, to ease the internal conflict, your brain seeks a solution. And often, it decides, maybe I do like them, or at least maybe they're not so bad after all. The very act of helping provides a justification for your actions, subtly changing your feelings towards the person you helped. It's a fascinating example of how our behavior can influence our beliefs, and neuroscience is increasingly backing this up, because doing a favor actually releases oxytocin, often referred to as the bonding hormone, in the brain, making the helper feel good and more connected to the person they're assisting. So, by strategically asking for a small favor, you're essentially giving someone the opportunity to feel helpful, competent, and important, all of which contribute to a more positive perception of you. Consider this in the workplace. Instead of constantly trying to impress a senior colleague with your accomplishments, try asking for their advice on a specific, relatively small matter. This simple act validates their expertise, makes them feel valued and respected, and subtly shifts their perception of you in a more favorable direction. And the beauty of this effect is that it works in virtually any social situation. You can ask to borrow a pen, or ask for a quick recommendation for a local restaurant or service. The key is that the favor should be relatively small, easily fulfilled, and not overly burdensome. Remember, the primary goal isn't manipulation or exploitation. It's to break the ice, create a positive interaction, and build a genuine connection with another person. By initiating this interaction, you create a positive feedback loop. You ask for a favor, they willingly help, they feel good about themselves and the interaction, and as a result, they tend to like you more. Savvy salespeople often use this technique by asking for your opinion on a product or service, subtly making you an active participant in the sales process and, consequently, increasing your psychological investment in the potential purchase. But be careful, because skilled manipulators can exploit this effect by gradually escalating small favors into increasingly larger and more demanding ones, effectively trapping you in a cycle of compliance that can be difficult to break free from. To protect yourself from such manipulation, pay close attention and notice if someone you barely know is consistently asking you for favors, especially if the requests seem to be increasing in size or frequency. Take a moment for self-reflection and ask yourself, do I genuinely want to help this person, or am I feeling subtly pressured or nudged by some psychological tactic? So, try this. Consciously pick someone you genuinely like to connect with on a deeper level and ask them for a small, genuine favor that aligns with their skills or interests. Then, carefully observe how the dynamic between you shifts in the days and weeks that follow. This isn't some form of magic or wishful thinking, it's grounded in solid science and well-established psychological principles. Remember that human connection is often built on shared vulnerability and mutual support, not solely on displays of strength or unwavering self-sufficiency. By showing a small need or asking for assistance, you invite generosity from others, creating an opportunity for a more authentic and meaningful bond to form. So next time you find yourself wanting to build rapport with someone, don't just focus on offering help. Consider asking for it as well. The results of this simple shift in perspective might genuinely surprise you in the best possible way. Instead of constantly thinking, what can I give to impress this person? Try asking yourself, what small favor can I humbly request that would allow them to feel valued and helpful? This seemingly simple shift in mindset can have a profound impact, transforming your relationships and opening doors to deeper connections. Always remember that the core principle of the Benjamin Franklin effect is about creating genuine opportunities for connection and fostering mutual respect, not about engaging in manipulative or deceptive practices. Use it wisely and ethically, and you'll likely find that people are far more open, helpful, and genuinely friendly than you might have ever expected. It represents a significant paradigm shift in how we traditionally think about winning people over and building lasting relationships. So, now that you understand the power of this effect, how will you consciously incorporate it into your next conversation or social interaction? Give it a try, experiment with it in different situations, and watch how quickly and easily people begin to warm up to you. The science is clear and compelling. Sometimes the most effective way to make a new friend or strengthen an existing bond is simply to ask for a little bit of help. That's the Benjamin Franklin effect in action, a testament to the power of subtle psychological influence. Now, let's move on to explore the next fascinating mind trick in our arsenal of psychological techniques. What if you possessed a secret key, a hidden technique that could unlock instant connection with anyone you meet? What if you could forge bonds so strong so quickly without them even realizing the subtle dance that's taking place? That's the power, the subtle art, of mirroring and matching. Mirroring, at its core, is the subconscious act, a deeply ingrained human behavior. It involves subtly copying someone's body language, their posture, the way they hold themselves. It extends to their gestures, the subtle movements of their hands and arms as they speak, and even their speech patterns, the rhythm and cadence of their voice. It's our brain's innate way of signaling, I understand you, I'm on your wavelength, I'm with you. But the fascinating part is, you can harness this natural phenomenon and do it consciously, with intention. Subtly mirror someone's posture or gestures, perhaps leaning forward when they do, or tilting your head in a similar way. The key is to do it with a slight delay, a beat or two after they make the movement. This isn't about becoming a caricature, a blatant copycat, but about creating a natural reflection, a subtle echo of their presence. And here's a pro tip. Cross-mirroring works too. If they scratch their nose, a seemingly insignificant action, you might subtly touch your chin, creating a subconscious connection. Ultimately, it's about matching their energy, their overall vibe, not just robotically mimicking their actions. Next, pay close attention and match their speech patterns. If they talk fast with a rapid-fire delivery, subtly speed up your own pace a bit. Conversely, if they're calm and quiet, speaking softly and deliberately, gently lower your volume and slow down your rate of speech to match their tranquil tone. Even subtly incorporating their favorite phrases, the words they use most often, can create a powerful sense of shared identity, a feeling that you're both on the same page. The science behind all of this? It all comes down to mirror neurons, specialized brain cells that fire not only when we perform an action ourselves, but also when we see someone else perform that same action. This creates a powerful neural link, building empathy, fostering understanding, and forging a deep connection. Top negotiators, masters of persuasion use this technique instinctively. They understand that mirroring is a powerful tool to build trust, to establish rapport, and to create a sense of shared understanding. They leverage it even in high-stakes situations where tensions are high and the stakes are incredibly significant. However, it's crucial to remember that the ethical use of mirroring is to build a bridge, to foster genuine connection, not to manipulate or deceive. When used ethically, it helps others feel comfortable, understood, and safe in your presence. Imagine yourself in a job interview, a situation where making a positive first impression is paramount. By subtly mirroring the interviewer's posture and tone, matching their level of formality and enthusiasm, you can significantly increase your chances of standing out from the competition. This subtle mirroring can create instant rapport, making you appear more likable and relatable. But a word of caution, beware. Con artists, masters of deception, often use perfect mirroring, an exaggerated form of this technique. They do this to gain your trust quickly, to disarm you, and to make you more susceptible to their manipulations. So, if someone seems to echo your every move, mirroring you a little too perfectly, it's wise to test it, to see if their behavior is genuine or calculated. Try subtly changing your posture, crossing your arms or shifting your weight, and see if they immediately follow suit. Here's a practical exercise you can try. The next time you're engaged in a casual conversation with someone, perhaps over coffee or during a friendly chat, consciously try to subtly match their energy and body language, mirroring their posture and gestures in a natural, unforced way. Pay close attention and notice how the interaction feels, how the dynamic shifts. You'll likely find that the conversation feels warmer, more engaging, and more connected. Mastering this skill, honing your ability to mirror and match effectively, is like having a social superpower, a secret weapon in your arsenal of communication skills. In many ways, it's the very foundation of charisma, the elusive quality that draws people to you. Charismatic people have a knack for making everyone feel important, valued, and understood. And they often achieve this, at least in part, by unconsciously or consciously mirroring those around them. So take a moment to reflect. Have you ever noticed someone mirroring you, subtly mimicking your behavior? Or perhaps more interestingly, have you ever caught yourself doing it, unconsciously mirroring someone else? Think back to your best conversations, the ones where you felt a strong connection with the other person. Chances are, even if you didn't realize it at the time, unconscious mirroring was subtly at play, enhancing the rapport and creating a sense of shared understanding. Now, armed with this knowledge, you can begin to use it with intention, consciously applying these techniques to build stronger connections. Remember, mirroring and matching are powerful tools, but they are tools nonetheless. They are designed for connection, for building bridges, not for manipulation or personal gain. Use them to make people feel seen, heard, and genuinely understood, to validate their experiences and perspectives. When used ethically and authentically, mirroring is a shortcut to trust and rapport, a way to quickly establish a strong connection. So, challenge yourself. Try incorporating these techniques in your next conversation, your next social interaction. Observe the subtle shifts in the dynamic, and see the difference it makes in the quality of your communication. And always remember, subtlety is absolutely key to success in this endeavor. Strive to be natural, authentic, and genuine in your interactions, avoiding any hint of robotic or forced behavior. This is how you build instant rapport, how you create a sense of connection and understanding. This is how you connect with anyone, anywhere in the world, regardless of their background or beliefs. The world's best communicators, the most influential leaders, the masters of persuasion, use these principles every single day, often without even consciously realizing it. And now, armed with this knowledge and these techniques, so can you. So, are you ready to delve even deeper to uncover the final mind trick in our arsenal? Let's dive in and explore the next fascinating facet of human psychology. Why do we crave what's out of reach? What is it about the things we can't easily obtain that makes them so alluring? Is it simply human nature to desire the unattainable? The answer lies in a powerful psychological principle, the scarcity principle. It's a fundamental concept that governs much of our decision-making. When something is limited, whether it's a limited edition product or a fleeting opportunity, our brains automatically assign it more value. We perceive it as more desirable, more special, and more worth pursuing. Scarcity triggers FOMO, that gnawing fear of missing out. It preys on our anxieties and pushes us to act impulsively. Marketers understand this principle intimately and use it constantly to influence our buying behavior. Only 2 left in stock. This simple message creates a sense of urgency and compels us to act quickly, or sale ends in 1 hour. The ticking clock amplifies the pressure, making us fear that we'll miss out on a great deal. Suddenly you feel urgent pressure to buy, even if you didn't initially need or even particularly want the item. Airlines and hotels are masters of this tactic. They've perfected the art of creating artificial scarcity. Only 3 seats left at this price. The message flashes, urging you to book immediately before the price increases, turning casual shoppers into frantic buyers, driven by the fear of missing out on the best deal. Scarcity isn't just about quantity, it's also very much about time. The perception of limited time amplifies the effect. Flash sale ends soon. This pushes you to act before you think, overriding rational decision-making. Scarcity also makes things feel exclusive. adding to their perceived value and desirability. Luxury brands intentionally limit supply to drive up demand and maintain their high price points, creating an aura of exclusivity. Even forbidden information becomes more desirable. The allure of the unknown is amplified by its inaccessibility. Banned books often sell more copies than those freely available, proving the power of forbidden knowledge. This phenomenon is closely related to psychological reactance, a powerful force that shapes our behavior. When our freedom to choose is threatened, we react by wanting the restricted option even more intensely. To protect yourself from the manipulative effects of scarcity, the first step is to recognize the feeling when it arises. If you sense urgency or anxiety creeping in, pause, take a deep breath, and create a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, is this scarcity real based on genuine limitations, or is it manufactured to pressure me? Delve deeper and ask yourself a crucial question. If this were always available, readily accessible, would I still genuinely want it, or am I just caught up in the hype? Scammers, unfortunately, are also adept at exploiting scarcity to their advantage, preying on vulnerable individuals. Act now, or miss out forever on this incredible opportunity. This is a classic scam tactic designed to bypass your critical thinking. They want to rush you into a decision before you have a chance to think clearly and assess the situation rationally. In relationships, emotional scarcity, being hot and cold, withholding affection, can create an unhealthy dynamic, making you crave someone's attention and validation, even if it's ultimately detrimental to your well-being. But scarcity isn't always negative. It can also be used for good, to motivate positive action. Non-profit organizations often use urgent deadlines to drive donations for legitimate causes, harnessing the power of scarcity to achieve their goals. The key is to discern authenticity. Real scarcity, based on genuine limitations, is relatively rare. Manufactured scarcity, on the other hand, is pervasive. Understanding this principle and its subtle manipulations is like equipping yourself with a protective shield. You gain the ability to see through marketing tricks, resist impulsive urges, and make more informed and rational decisions. So next time you encounter a limited time offer or a while supplies last promotion, smile. You now understand the game being played. You have the power to choose whether to play along or to confidently walk away, unaffected by the artificial pressure. Remember, you're in control of your decisions, not your impulses or the manipulative tactics of others. Scarcity is a powerful psychological force, but now you are armed with the knowledge and tools to effectively resist its influence. Use this newfound understanding to protect not only your wallet, but also your valuable time and your precious emotions. Don't allow a false sense of urgency to dictate your choices. Make decisions based on careful consideration and genuine need. You're now an informed and empowered decision maker, capable of navigating the world of marketing and persuasion with greater awareness. The scarcity principle is pervasive, influencing countless aspects of our lives, but now you possess the ability to spot it in action. Take back control from one of the most powerful and frequently exploited psychological forces that shapes our desires and behaviors. Make choices based on real value, genuine need, and rational assessment, rather than succumbing to the fear of missing out. That's the true power of understanding the scarcity principle. It empowers you to make better choices and live a more intentional life. Let's wrap up this exploration of the scarcity principle. There you have it, 3 of the most powerful psychology tricks revealed. From making people like you by asking for a favor, to building instant rapport, to resisting the pull of scarcity. My goal was to arm you with knowledge to protect yourself in a world full of psychological influence. You now have a new lens to see through and the power to make conscious choices. Which of these tricks surprised you most? Let me know in the comments. Stay curious, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.